One state really which has come to the top when it comes to all these numbers and has continuously been there is Maharashtra, which continues to be the one with the highest number of COVID cases. The state has now crossed the 10 lakh mark on Friday with a record spike of 24,886 new cases in just one day. Sohit back with us for the latest on the Maharashtra numbers as well. Sohit, apart from what Kangana Ranaut is doing, apart from what Riya Chakravarti is doing, this is one area which really needs all resources and all the best of minds in Maharashtra. We understand that there was a meeting that happened between Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar, and perhaps COVID was discussed, or so we would hope. Do we know what is the plan of action?
Well, exactly. This is one of the most important things that should be discussed by any government, especially in Maharashtra. It has been number one since day one. Yes, Sharad Pawar has been continuously meeting with Uddhav Thackeray, be it Ajit Pawar, the Deputy Chief Minister. He also went to Pune, and there have been several discussions with the officers as well. Now, let me tell you that what is the most worrying point. So the COVID numbers in Maharashtra have risen from 1.8 lakh active cases to 2.61 lakh in just a fortnight. So 1 lakh fresh cases were added in the last 6 days. So this is the most disturbing trend that the Maharashtra government is currently seeing. So they are continuously in touch with several of the hospitals as well as the doctors, and they are trying to understand that what is the issue. One of the issue that Maharashtra is facing is the lack of oxygen cylinders. So that is the reason on September 9th, the Maharashtra government had issued a notification to oxygen suppliers to sell not more than 20% of their cylinders outside the state. And this move was aimed to stabilize the state's own oxygen requirement affected, and it has affected Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat for oxygen supply. And you would remember that Shivraj Singh Chauhan also requested that more oxygen cylinders should be given over there. But apart from the oxygen cylinders, the hospitals still are not at par or how it should be. So this is the another trend that is disturbing. Now, if you look at what used to happen before and what is happening right now, firstly, the more number of COVID cases were in the slums as well as in the cities. Now the trend has changed, and more number of COVID cases are in the high-rise buildings as well as in the villages in new areas. So previously, Dharavi was always in the headlines for having the highest number of COVID cases. Now the cases have been limited over there, but the cases are rising in several other places like Pune as well as several other rural areas. So this is the latest trend. While the government has been continuously speaking on this, and they are attending meetings on this, but even if we speak about the 2-day monsoon session that was held, the majority of the discussion happened on Kangana as well as other things, and that is where the question arises that what actually is the priority of this government, because the cases are rising since day one. It has crossed the 10 lakh mark. Maharashtra is competing with Russia if you look at the figures. But in the same time, the government's focus is more on Kangana or Riya, as you were saying as well. So this is one thing on which the government needs to focus, and it would be important to see what else is being done. So remember that since from 15th of September, a new campaign known as Mazi Zimmedari, which says my family, my responsibility is being done, where door-to-door screening will be happening across the state. So how does it how does it moves forward? What happens over there, and does it help to limit the number of cases that are coming out every day? Because having more than 24,000 cases in just a day, it is the highest spike, and almost every second day the spike increases. The highest spike, the record increases every second day if we speak about Maharashtra. So these are the trends, and although a new campaign is being started very soon, it would be very important to see that does it actually help the government and limits the number of cases that we see growing daily in the state.
What